as you can see, I've disassembled the rear part of the robot. Here's the normal connector for the emergency switch, and I added an Ethernet cable that will go inside into the rear box. Here's the battery connectors. And here's the box itself. Well, here's the ultrasonic sensors that I added. Some other cables to them. It's a bit of a mess here now. I just moved to a new place. And here's the third one, which basically go on top like this. So it will probe behind, give distance information to any objects behind, so the robot won't reverse on anything, to the left and to the right in case it swivels and turns kind of like this, its rear. And here's the emergency button. I had a lot of trouble making this. This is a relatively big case. Okay, there's the emergency switch, there's the power supply, these sensors, and I need to make it waterproof, so it's got the seals and everything on, which is okay. But making the actual electronics has been a bit of a challenge to get everything fitting nicely into the box. I'm also considering, instead of having ROS in the robot, at least in the nodes, like the arms and the head and the different other actuators, I'm considering, instead of using ROS, or putting embedded systems which run much faster, as I was using the robot, and some of the ROS nodes have really unpredictable latency and sometimes really long latency, and yeah, the delays seem to be rather annoying for certain experiments. So I'm thinking about converting as many of the ROS nodes into some sort of embedded, or just using Raspberry Pis maybe, but just leaving the ROS altogether out and using some other protocol. I was hoping to use the similar stuff. No, maybe I will use similar protocols what ROS2 uses. But compatibility then with Arduino seems to be a constant problem, as is compatibility with anything with Arduino. And currently I don't have time to make a full embedded solution, which of course I could do in the future. So I'm going to be modifying the robot quite a lot. For now, I'm however planning to place this somehow inside the box here. I have made some additional electronics. Okay, I made for the ultrasonic sensors, because this kind of a small filter, there's a resistor and a capacitor there, input, output and so on, for the power supply. And this is recommended by the manufacturer due to the disturbances that can come from the power supply and entered in, I guess, into the output signal of the sensor. I'm not sure if, according to the instructions, one is supposed to have one of these for each of the sensors, but I'm just trying to go with one, as there's very limited space for everything there. With all the cabling needed between these three sensors, for synchronizing everything, all of stuff, it actually surprisingly quickly becomes very full. But in addition to that, I also need to leave some space down here, so that I can actually fit my fingers down here and attach this with the screws, this box back to the robot, and pull the cables out. So the Ethernet connectors and everything take a surprising amount of space. We need to bend them around a bit, put them through here. So yeah, the space is at premium.